All right, so while Memphis takes this shifter out, what's up guys? Welcome to the vlog. Today, we're gonna be installing this cheap $40 short throw shifter from Amazon in my 1990 Fox Body Mustang. That's right guys, we have a $40 Amazon short throw shifter. Now I think this is the same shifter that LMR sells. I'm not sure, they're very similar if not, but let's just be honest guys, I don't expect a lot out of this. It's very cheap, you know, 40 bucks can, you know, compared to what, about 170 or something like that out of the others. We will see. I've heard a lot of people say that the holes up here are a little small for the factory bolts and whatnot, so I may have to drill those out a little bit. No big deal. Either way, you know, this is a budget channel. You know, we like to keep it budget, so what we're going to do is just put this thing in, see how it works. We'll talk about it. Now, in all fairness, this has been reviewed by House of Dula. Did a review on this, and he was kind of torn on it, whether he liked it or not. I think he had a few issues with it. But actually, I'll put a link down below to the video that I'm talking about where he installed and kind of reviewed it. But House of Dula is a great YouTube channel, so if you guys like the Fox Body content and you've not checked him out yet, go check out House of Dula. Also, I want to give one more shout out to Fox Body Mike. He's on YouTube also. You guys go check him out. You know I like to promote my brothers, so there we go. Fox Body Nation, baby. Go check them out. First off, let's look and see what is in the package. So this is the box that it comes in. Let me go ahead and open this bag up and see what we've got. So these are going to be your stops, I suppose. Your overthrow. Yep. All right, so these are your stops. These should fit, and they do. Okay. All right, so we have figured out where everything goes. I want to go ahead and start pulling this shifter out. You know, you guys know how to do this. You just snatch everything off. Sometimes you can get lucky and you don't have to take your whole console out, but we will see today if that is the case. Thing's pretty gnarly there. Okay. All right, so you're gonna have some little 8mm in here that you got to get out to be able to release this. And this is where you run into your problem as to where the console usually has to come out, because there are bolts back here. You can get in there with like an 8mm ratchet wrench or something like that, and you can kind of work that thing out. I'm gonna attempt to do that. If not, then yeah, looks like we're gonna have to pull this out. So while we're right here, ask you guys a question. I've got another opportunity for, I guess you would say, a sponsorship. Someone has contacted me about a new line of radios. They appear to be like an Android based radio. They're double DIN. The person wants to know if I would install and do a review for them. To me, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, sure, it'd be nice to have one, but it's no big deal. That radio works fine. But I want to ask you guys, is that something that you would like to see? And if not, just let me know below. Either way, you know, we try to keep things budget, and you know, I'm not trying to sell my channel out by any means. Something like a radio or something like that, if it's a really good price, that is absolutely something that I could see sharing with you guys. And maybe they're better than the others, maybe they're a couple $100 cheaper, you know, who knows. But you guys let me know right now if that's something you'd be interested in or not. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get down here and get to that one 8mm bolt that's in the back, and if not, then we're going to go ahead and take the console out. No big deal either way. I'm not gonna do that. It's too tight back in there to get to. A lot of times people will take and drill a hole or notch out right here so that you can get something back there. I really don't want to do that. Not that this is just like super nice or anything, but don't really want to cut those corners. So looks like I'm gonna have to go ahead and take all this out. So this radio needs to come out anyway because it's all jacked up and kind of sideways in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out, get everything out of the way, and then we'll put this shifter in. All right, so we've got the radio out. Next up is to just finish taking everything out. You've got a couple screws back here that you have to get out. One's already missing, and then this piece needs to pop off, and then you've got a couple back up in there. So it's not a hard job by any means, but there are a few things that do get in the way. Now we are going to take off the armrest. All you're going to do to remove that is just come in here, take that off. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just remove the actual console part so that everything can come out. Remove the screws holding the console. Lift up on it. We're going to unplug everything. Just kind of give a little tilt, and everything starts to come out. What, baby? You got a sucker. Looks like my little helper is back out here with me again. Yeah, so I've got some help now. So we are about to get started, and this is what I was talking about. You see how far back that bolt is? It's just all the way back there. That one bolt really is the whole reason you have to take all this out. All right, you're gonna record for Daddy? All right, you gotta point it right here, okay? All right, you're doing a good job. All right, guys, so once we get this off, we're gonna go ahead and start removing the shifter. So it's not that big of a process, to be completely honest with you. It's just kind of aggravating. It's kind of time consuming. All right, you did a good job, Memphis. Thank you very much. Get this old shifter out. All right, so while Memphis takes this shifter out, let's talk about some of the things that are coming up on the channel. So what we've got coming up is a complete interior install on my dad's car. I say install, it's gonna be carpet, it's gonna be floor mats, and a couple other different things, just to really clean the interior of his car up. And with this car, we still have a few things. We got some oil leaks that we got to address. What else? We got some door panel stuff that I need to do with the windows to actually make them go up and down properly, and just a few little things here or there, door pins and whatnot that we need to install. And also at some point, probably next year, we're going to start on performance stuff. So we do have a lot of content coming up. We also still have to get the Cobra back from Hunter. So as soon as we get the Cobra back from him, we'll also have some content there. Just so that you know, though, this is the budget side of the channel, really, with the Fox body. The Terminator, I'll try to do budget stuff as I can, but as you guys know, I mean, those parts are just, they're more expensive, and there's not a lot of budget stuff you can do. But if the car needs anything that we can kind of go budget on, then we will. But that car should be back pretty soon. I honestly just don't know where I'm going to put it. This car is going to have to go outside, and the Cobra is going to have to come in. Even with this new paint, that's what we're going to have to do. Well, all right, Memphis is finishing up. Are you finished, baby? Mm-hmm. All right, let Daddy see. Pretty close, baby. Daddy, go ahead and finish it for you, okay? Look at that. You did a good job. All right, so once you get everything out, all you're going to do is just kind of bump it, as you can see. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably already know this, but some of you might not. Some of these transmissions actually take automatic transmission fluid, and some take motor oil. Now, from my understanding, you can use either or, but one is recommended over the other depending on the transmission. I think it has to do whether it's a world class or not. Not sure on that. You guys down below, if you will, just let me know. Let everybody else know what transmissions actually use automatic and what do not. But as you can see, this transmission actually uses automatic transmission fluid. So let's talk about this little bushing right here. This thing can cause you a lot of heartache, guys. If this thing goes bad, you're going to have all kinds of misshifts and slop in your shifter and everything else. So what you want to do is just kind of take it and inspect it on the inside, make sure it's not broken anywhere or worn out, and just pop it back in. I think it has some type of additive in that transmission, probably a synchro mesh or something like that. It stinks. So we're gonna put a very, very light bead of silicone around this shifter, because actually it will leak if you do not. Let's talk a little bit about RTVs and what to use and what not to use. I always use Permatex. I know a lot of guys use different stuff, and that's perfectly fine. I have been burned in the past with using like cheap RTVs and silicones and everything else. They just never seem to dry up. If you do not know of anything else that is better than Permatex, I suggest you stick to Permatex. Don't use that cheap crap that you can buy in the dollar store or wherever. Spend the money. I think it's like $5 or $6 for a tube of it. Spend the money because you will regret it if you don't. Well, all right, guys, we put a light skim coat of RTV on this transmission, and now all we're gonna do is drop the shifter in. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse the stock bolts just because I like being able to get a socket or something like that on them. We'll just go ahead and put everything back together, and then we'll drive the car and we'll talk about what I think of this shifter. Oh yeah, one more quick thought. I almost forgot. You have to cut your boot if you put it on this shifter. So it's like a Pro 5.0. It's round right here. This has to be cut out. So the best thing to do is cut out this part right here, this ring, and then just stretch it around it. So I'm gonna go ahead, cut that out, and then I'll show you me installing that. So that's what it's gonna look like whenever you're done. And all we're gonna do now is just kind of stretch it over it. And there you go, nice and neat. But what we're gonna do now is go ahead and clean this ring up right here, just because I know a lot of you guys will probably wanna know. And my wife saw me like cleaning on it here, and she's like, well, why don't you show the guys how you clean it? But you know what, let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna let her hold the camera while I clean this, and I'll explain to you how I do it. All right, so this is an old, just a Harbor Freight like wire brush right here, and all I want to do is just come in.
Can I brush it, please? Daddy?
What we're going to do is just go ahead and shoot it with a little bit of trim black. Like I told you guys before, I use trim black SEM on everything except for the interior stuff, and that's the satin black. But all I'm going to do is just put a couple light coats on it just to make it, you know, not so ugly in the car. Not that you'll ever see that. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of tighten all this down. I just want to show you guys what it looked like, but this is it. The black bezel just makes it look a little cleaner. You don't see all that rust and crap. And just like that, we have the shifter installed in the car. Everything is good to go. So all we're going to do now is pop the boot back on. Well, all right, so we've got that installed. Like I said, it feels pretty good just sitting here. I won't know though until we drive the car. Well, all right, I think that is good enough to go down the road and just kind of see how the shifter feels. Wow, feels weird with the shifter in the car, actually having a short throw. It's had a full length shifter in it ever since I've owned it. Honestly, guys, it seems to shift really good. We'll see though when we go try to hit second and third. I'm not going to slam the gears because we do need a clutch in this car. The clutch is kind of on its way out, so it'll probably slip. Just slipping like hell in the car, but it shifts great. I like it. I don't see any issues with it whatsoever. So as of right now, you know, I would recommend it. How long it's going to last, is it going to give you any trouble? I don't know yet. I'll do a follow-up on this coming pretty soon. Other than the clutch slipping, I approve. Also, while I'm thinking about it, we do have a P.O. box for you guys. So if you would like to send anything to me, fan mail, whatever else, let's keep it cool though, if you will, please guys. Don't send anything completely crazy or off the wall. I may do a fan